It's recording. It is. Okay. So welcome into the first ever Bruins review, or you can look at this as a Bruins fan reaction if you're a Steve Dangle fan. And basically what I'm going to be doing is going over the game, what I see, what I think, and hopefully if you're a Bruins fan, you'll enjoy and follow my videos, because maybe I can do this like Steve Dangle would, where I can do it for multiple games. But if there's not a lot of support, I'm not going to keep doing it. But if there's support and people like it, I will keep doing it. Keep the fans happy, even though I have none. So one thing I'd like to point out before going into this first game is the ringer that the Bruins have to go through for the remainder of their season. There are 34. This note is before yesterday, because it's 33 days now. 34 days left until the Bruins' last game versus the Florida Panthers. We have 34 days, 19 games, 3 back-to-backs, never more than a day off in a row. We have Bergeron injured right now. McAvoy with his, I don't even know how you described an injury or MCL, but it's out. He's out 4 weeks. Okay, Tuukka's nursing a minor injury, but I think he was on the bench for this game. Wasn't looking at the bench often. Don't quote me. I think he was on the bench. We're 6 points back at Tampa with 3 games in hand. 3 points ahead of Toronto with 5 games in hand. That was also made before the game last night. One thing to talk about before we go into the game is Detroit. These stats are edited after the game. So Larkin is the points leader with 49, Zetterberg 41, Mantha 41, and then Mike Green with 31. So pretty terrible, not going to lie. Young at least minus Zetterberg and Green. I mean, you got Larkin and Mantha, who, had decent games themselves. Well, not Larkin. Mantha had a good game. Goal leaders, 23 for Mantha, 16 for Nyquist, 14 for Nielsen, 13 for Andreas Athanasiou. Have fun pronouncing that one if you do not hear it throughout the whole broadcast. Starting goalies for the game were Anton Hudobin and Jared Coreau. And Jared Coreau would not last at all. Sparkling save percentage of 75% and a 10.43 goals against average for the game. I read you his stats before the game, but those are non-existent unless you want me to read AHL stats, which I will not. Their last game, Detroit, was 4-1 loss to the Wild. They're 3-5-2 in their last 10. That's including last night, actually. Their record on the whole is 26, 29, and 11, 63 points, which is good for 5th in the Atlantic and 12th in the conference. Pretty garbage. Okay, now we went through the Bruins' ringer of a schedule. We went through Detroit's points leaders, all that. Now we can get to the game. So this game was downright sloppy. Tough to watch at some points. It wasn't clean hockey. Wasn't good. Lots of scoring, though, which you'd think would be more entertaining for how much scoring it was. Entertaining, yes. Not as much as it could have been. So 37 seconds in, Nick Holden from the right point slaps it off the boards behind. It comes all the way out to Krug at the other point. Krug goes top shelf on Coreau, and that would be a theme. The puck going past him, not top shelf, but yeah, so it was just a ricochet off the boards, back to Krug snipes. 20 seconds later, Jonathan Ericsson backhand pass up the boards, intercepting a crowd at mid-ice by Jake DeBrusk. Jake DeBrusk comes into the zone, looks for a pass, cross crease to Krejci, but Jonathan Ericsson goes down to one knee, blocks it with the stick, and it goes right past Coreau. Coreau is out of his crease. He is in no man's land. He overcommits to DeBrusk, thinks that DeBrusk is never going to pass. He's obviously going to the net on that side, will not go around the net or go across crease, and he slides all the way on the net. So when it hits Ericsson's stick, it has nowhere to go but the net. So 2 goals in 52 seconds. DeBrusk 14th of the year and Krug's 12th of the year. Hot start for the Bruins, but they weren't that great of goals. Krug's shot was a bullet, no lie, but DeBrusk's goal was kind of crap, and you could tell it was goaltending. If your paper's moving in the side, that is my notes. I took notes for this because I wanted it to be accurate and Anyway, so minute and a half later, about 2:16 into the first, so this is a little over 2 minutes, and we're at the third goal. Franz Nielsen's 14th. He was an all-star a few years ago. Weak class. And I called this the look what I found in the slot, because Zetterberg and Riley Nash tie up. It pops out to Char in front of the net. Char pokes it back into the pile, Mind you, this is on the power play, so numbers aren't really a game. So Char was kind of off balance. He just kind of nudges it out there and right back into the pile, hoping someone else can get it because he was dealing with a body in front of the net. Not the case. Zetterberg just whacks at it. It goes to Franz Nielsen in the slot, uncontested, and he beats Hudobin glove side, top corner. And few minutes later, so this is still in the first period, early first, I guess you'd say, 7 minutes 53 seconds into the first. In our defensive zone, there's board play. Okay, so there are 3 Detroit Red Wings on the left side or near side on the TV on the boards. All 4 Bruins, well, all 4, there's 5 of them on the ice. 4 Bruins are around them. Wait, is this power play? No, it's not. So there's 4 Bruins. I remember Marchand specifically, and they're all just near the boards. Marchand's puck watching, and I believe Riley Nash is also kind of puck watching, but he has a body. Char's sitting in front of the net, and Mantha, who's a big 6'5" frame, finds the puck, slides it across the ice, gets Andreas Athanasiou, God, that name. He comes in, and Char's flat-footed with Athanasiou, who's one of the faster skaters in the league, coming at him. Char takes away the middle of the ice by going down to one knee, and Athanasiou notices this, so he knows Mike Green, who is also coming off of a line change behind him. So he does a little drop backhand pass. I hope you like the motion, a backhand pass to Mike Green. Mike Green finishes. And I put this goal on Marchand because he didn't have a guy over on the boards, and he was just kind of standing over there watching. Not a good look, not a good play. And it's 2-2, tie game, and we blew a 2-goal lead that we sadly, we didn't really deserve it, but like, you don't want to blow it once you get it. Okay, so next goal. Bruins power play. They're working it through the zone. Marchand receives it down low from Pasternak. He finds Torrey Krug, who is just streaking towards the net with a purpose. Marchand finds him, dime of a pass, and Krug forces it through Courreau, really. It hits Courreau on like his right leg and somehow gets between his legs and just slides barely over the line, but just enough so the buzzer goes and the goal counts. Krug's 13th in his second of the game, and it is only less than 7 minutes in. No. It's 13:48, so it's 14 minutes into the game, and Krug already has 2. Marchand has 2 assists. Yeah, that covers that. On to the next goal, which is another power play goal. So Marchand skating down the right circle. He cross ice pass to Pasta. A little off. He bobbles it. Pasta didn't get the best handle. He passes it back to the point. Krug fakes a slap shot and finds Marchand, which I'm calling this baseline because, I mean, it's goal line, but he's, like, removed. It's basically a baseline in the NBA, basically. And it's a one-timer. And Courreau is way out of position. He doesn't get over in time. Really bad goaltending. Courreau is then pulled for Howard. Howard goes in and does better work than Courreau. Not a high bar to pass. Then a little after this, that was Marchand's 26th of the season, first of the game, quickly into the second. A goal is called back shortly after this. Larkin goes to the net on the power play down the right side, shoots, puck's in Hudobin. Well, puck's not in Hudobin's net yet. Hudobin slides back, like basically into his net, but he keeps the puck out in front of him. Abdelkader then comes into the crease and basically kicks it in, I guess you could say. Side foot kind of jabs it in, and it is a kick. It gets called back, as it should. Maybe Detroit fans are mad. I think it was a good call to call it back. No goal. Second period, Anthony Mantha behind the net takes it out in front, passes across to the other point, and Mike Green at the point takes a slap shot, hits Nick Holden in the leg, and it's an easy rebound, empty net basically for Mantha, who just has to bat in. Mantha's first goal of the game, 22nd of the season, halfway through the second, 4-3. Do the Bruins blow another 2-goal lead? No, they do not yet. Zetterberg pass handcuffs Daly behind his own net. Really not a great situation to put your defenseman in. Riley Nash and David Pasternak. If I say Nash, it's Riley. Rick had nothing to do in this game. Very quiet night for the guy. Not good to hear, which is an issue of consistency, which I've been worried about with Rick, because there's a reason he hasn't been putting up numbers in New York. Consistency. Forces a Daily turnover. Pasta then takes the puck into the left circle. He fires it at Courreau, not Courreau anymore, Howard. Deflects back into like a pile area. By the way, Pasternak shot it into a crowd. I'd like to point that out. Bats it out of the crowd, onto the net again. Hits Howard, comes out to Marchand, and Marchand basically one times it out of midair, just bats it like that. It misses wide right, but it pops behind the net and settles. And Marchand goes behind the net and just banks off Howard's skate and into the net. And it's 5-3 Bruins. Another 2-goal lead. Hopefully we don't blow this one either. Jesus, team. Anyway, so it's 5-3. Marchand second of the game, 27th of the season. A little over halfway in the second, so we're halfway through the game. We got 8 goals. A little like the Pittsburgh game, but this is a lot sloppier. The goals in the Pittsburgh game were better looking, and we were dominating play. We were not dominating play, but we looked better than Detroit, in my opinion. So Detroit at mid-ice trying to form a rush. Carlo deflects the pass from Abdicator. Decent defense. It settles near Chara. Chara should be, it's like sliding into the zone. Chara should be able to get it. He fans on it or whiffs. Puck's like on edge, which I guess is what Jack Edwards said, but I thought that was kind of an excuse for Chara. This should 100% be played by Chara out of the zone. He fans on it. Mantha just skates around him because Chara's caught off balance because he's like shocked that he can't get it, which, put yourself in that situation. Mantha has all the momentum. 6'5" frame of Mantha. I mean, Chara's 6'9", but 6'5", and he's young and fast. Char falls, which is already after Mantha beat him, and Mantha just doesn't banks it, he just whacks it 5-hole on Hudobin. Yeah, that was a trash goal, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, not on Mantha's part, great working man's goal, but like, to give up, that's tough. That's really tough to give up. I'm gonna turn off my notifications. Why are people hitting me up? They're not hitting me up, those are notifications for other things. Another side note, it's 5-4 at this point. Mantha's second of the game, second of the period, 23rd on the year. He's having a Cy Young type of year. 23 goals and 9 assists. Cy Young's when you have way more goals than assists. Not seen too often throughout the league, but, is what it is for him. He's kind of like Rick Nash at a younger age, where he's just putting up goals, not really many assists, but a decent amount of goals. Big frame, too, similar size, so maybe that's a good comparison. Early third, where that was in the second. This is now in the third. Marchand misses an empty net off a great setup by David Backus, who received a good pass from Pasternak. Got Howard moving left to right, was kind of lost. Should have been 6-4, but he just hits it and it doesn't go in, which is very un-Marchand-like. Krug then drills iron shortly after, and very close chances. Another interesting thing, right after this, Xavier, or Javier, I'm not sure how he pronounced it, I think it's Xavier, Oulet or Oulet, however the Frenchman wants to pronounce it. I'm assuming that's French. He just lays in the crease for 8 seconds on the penalty kill, which I thought was very fascinating, bold. He blocked a shot there, but he was just laying in front of Howard. Good 8 seconds. Interesting, bold. I like it. End of the power play. Detroit only had 1 power play goal, but really they had 3. I'm not talking about penalties yet because it was a mess and it's too much to get into, but it was bad officiating tonight, real bad. But Bertuzzi gets the puck out from down low against Char. Char's name's brought up a lot. For instance, the Mike Green goal, I didn't mention Char because it's not as well. I mentioned taking away the pass from NSCU, but he was low key kind of screening Hudobin too. But I wouldn't blame him for that. He got put in a crap position by his forwards not being in the proper position. But that's hockey. Bruins square was a little tight after Bertuzzi came into the center area, so the point men got to come down a little, so they were basically in our slot, and that's how compressed our square was. Bertuzzi finds Martin Firk, the man without a vowel in his last name, in the slot. Krejci then dives in front of the shot, great effort, hits Krejci, and instead of going to the corner where Firk was shooting, it goes to the other corner, and it is a goal. 5-5 tie game, we blew another 2-goal lead. There's no discipline. I really think a leader like Bergeron in the lineup, you don't blow these leads as often. Would we have? Maybe. The chance, very slim if Bergeron's in the lineup with his defense. I thought he was missed severely in this game. More than McAvoy. McAvoy's missed a lot on that blue line. Trust me, I'm not going to overstate that. But Bergeron brings an element that no other player in the Bruins can bring. Overtime, as you may know, Marchand would score the goal. The notes I have for this, it's a 3-on-2. Larkin I think he was making an offensive play. He lost the puck. He doesn't make the best effort getting back, in my opinion, which is pretty crappy considering how fast you are and how easily you could get back. Riley Nash slides the puck to Krug, which he beats Mantha with the pass. Mantha gives up on the play and just kind of stands there, which I was shocked. I was just looking like, you're just going to stand there and watch this 1v1. It was, what was it? It was Krug versus DeKaiser, and Krug just shoots it. Low shot. Mantha quit on the play. I wrote that. Larkin skates past the play. Oh, yes. Good thing I read that. Larkin does eventually get back, but when he gets back, he goes right past the crease. Like, here's the goalie. Here's Larkin. That's basically what he did for his defensive effort. Doesn't stop to try to play the puck. Just goes past it almost like he wasn't expecting it, which he probably wasn't, but I mean, it just looks bad when you skate right past the play. And Marchand gets a gift one on the goalie, one on nobody. And Marchand goes forehand, backhand, roof game. And that's just a real bad look from Mantha and Larkin. I think it was DeKaiser. Yeah, DeKaiser was putting in a decent effort. Like, he forced Krug to take a not very good shot. But the forwards on Detroit, they're young, so they get a little bit of a pass. They're both under 23, I believe. Maybe younger. But it's just not a good look. And plays like that is why Detroit's where they are and the Bruins are where they are. Different seasons, different teams, different time frames of where they are in their organizations. Notes on the rest of the game. Congratulations to Marchand on his 11th career overtime game winner, most in franchise history, which I think should be taken as an asterisk because overtime wasn't even a thing in the regular season until 1983, and 3-on-3 goals in overtime are a lot more frequent. Bad refereeing in this game. There were tons of penalties. Like, there was a slash called on Marchand. Didn't look like he did anything. There was a few other calls that were suspect, but I didn't really comment on it much because, like, it was kind of both ways bad. Sloppy play. Sloppy goaltending. Kuro had 4 goals against and 16 shots. Howard had a decent performance. So when I say decent, like, not good, but not bad. 2 on 21. Hudobin had 5 on 30, so Hudobin didn't have his best game, but he gets the win. Good for him. Bruins were 2 for 4 on the power play. Detroit was 1 for 5, but really they're 3 for 5 because 2 of those goals were right after the power play ended. So Detroit basically 60% on the power play tonight. That's concerning for the Bruins penalty kill. Like I said, that Martin Frick goal or whatever you want to call it, pretty sure that was a power play goal too because that was either power play or it was right after the power play ended because we were in a box, which is typically the penalty kill formation, and yeah, we just look sloppy on that. Shots were 37 Bruins, 35 Wings. Marchand had 3 goals, 2 assists. Krug 2 goals, 2 assists. Pasta 3 apples. Riley Nash 2 apples. Holden DeBrusque 1 apple. 6 players got in on the scoring tonight, assisting goals. Only 6. The other 10 on our roster, I believe it's 10. No, it's 18 who skaters. So that's 12 skaters who didn't get a point in a 6-goal game. Kind of weird. The -2 club, which is the lowest negative plus-minus rating we have, was Char, Wingles, Corrali, Miller, Carlo. So even though like we had a lot of goals, a lot of it was by the same group. Char led the way in ice time at 25 minutes, 26 seconds. Krug and Kevin Miller were the only 2 others on the Bruins over 20 minutes. And the Bruins' next game is a very good one you should watch. Bruins versus Flyers Thursday night, 7 p.m. I think. And we need to play a cleaner game. It's just not a good look. You're not going to win against the Flyers if you play the way you did against Detroit. It just won't happen. Flyers are playing too good right now. Well, I think they're playing very good. They're high up in their division, and they weren't for a while, so they definitely moved their way in. Should be a fun tilt. I hope you like this video. I just wanted to sum it up. 2 points for the Bruins. That's big. We're still 6 points back at Tampa because Florida didn't beat them last night. They lost in overtime. Good on Florida. They're chasing a wild card spot right now, which I think they're going to get. We can't move back because Toronto is just kind of... They're faltering right now. And Tampa's kind of far ahead of us, so we might be locked into the 2 seed of the Atlantic, but we can catch Tampa. I don't think we can fall and let Toronto pass us just because of how many games we have in hand, and we're like ahead of them now, 5 points I think or something like that, 4 points. But yeah, so Friday I'll probably be uploading another video of the Flyers game. Hopefully you liked it. If you have suggestions for this or anything, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe. I'll talk to you next time.